Alright, I think we're online. What's up, y'all? This is Hussein Nasser from IGeometry bringing you a new series, ArcGIS Pro. Look at that. Don't you dare make fun of my hair, right? I tried. I swear I tried. But, alright, never mind. Yes, ArcGIS Pro. We were anxiously, is that right? Is that a word? Anxious? Yeah, anxiously waiting for this new series of ArcGIS Pro. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, so we want to start this series. It's a bit different than other series that we did before, and because this is the first time that I take a software and just analyze it without working with the software, without actually customizing anything. So this series, if you're looking for code, you won't find any. We will basically work with ArcGIS Pro. I might, if we had the enough interest, we might start the ArcGIS Pro SDK. But as a start, we want just to work with the software. This is a new software, so I would say 3, 4, 5 years. I don't know the exact number, but yeah, this version is ArcGIS Pro 2.0, and yeah, so there were one obviously, and then 101, 102, and then 1.3, 1.4, and then we jumped directly to 2.0, and yeah, so that's the current software 2.0. And so what this series will be about, it will be about just using the software. What is ArcGIS Pro? What does it do, right? What can it do? So this is in a nutshell. Obviously, you can't just do this in a few minutes, but as we explore this software, we will explore its functionality. We'll try to, as much as possible, touch things that, well, in my experience, I am experiment. What is that? I'm an expert in geodatabases, so I will explore Pro from that angle. But this software has a lot. It has, believe me, it has a lot of functionalities. So 3D and raster and everything. So Esri took all its experience and invested in this software and into becoming everything into basically one collection of software. So this has the 3D, it has scene. So where you previously had ArcMap, ArcCatalog, and ArcScene, now you have just Pro and has all of these things plus so many other functionalities. So basic things, it is completely 64-bit, it is multi-threaded. So we'll explain what does that mean as we start using this software. And yeah, I think we should just get started. So how did I do this? What did I install? So it's very simple. So if you have an account with Esri, you will go to My Esri, and then most probably you will have, if you have ArcMap, most probably you will have access to Pro. I think definitely you'd have access to Pro. So you just download it, and then licensing wise, I have here a 21-day license. So it's like free when you register. So I just registered ArcGIS.com, literally just very simple. You apply there, put your email, and then you register for a trial, and you get 21 days. I'll try to use this very efficiently. Maybe we'll purchase the actual license if there is enough interest to continue this series. But yeah, so it's very easy to set up. Once you do that, once you install Pro, it's just literally a setup file on the desktop. Right? It's just you download that and you set up, and once you set up that, you will be asked to authenticate. And the authentication, the easiest thing is just to log into arcgis.com, and that is your account. And then you authenticate which users, how many users. I think you get 2 by default. You can create up to 2. And then this user, Hussein Nasser 2, because for some reason I had Hussein Nasser taken. I don't know who took that. Who took my name? All right, so, sorry. So my mic, you see this? I got this from the PlayStation Experience 2016. Look at that. I love this event, man. It's every December. All right, so yeah, I think we should get started. Maybe this episode will be longer, but we'll try to make it within the interest level of length of a video. All right. Yeah, let's get started, guys. So I just log in. I have an account. I'm licensed for 21 days, 3 weeks. So first of all, let's learn how to create a new project. Very difficult. Create a new project. So you have options here. Once you open that, you have an option to blank, right? So let's go, before we do, let's explore the backstage here. So when I installed this ArcGIS Pro, what I did is it asked me to update that actually. So I installed a patch. So this is the first patch of 2.0. And so we have ArcGIS Pro 2.0.2.0.1, and that's the current patch. That's the latest version that you'll find out there. All right, so that's the current version. But by the time you watch this video, maybe a few months from now, there will be another version you can choose. But the interface won't be any different, right? Portals. As I told you, I'm signed in to the ArcGIS Online portal, but you can sign into your organization. So you can have your own portal for ArcGIS, or we call it ArcGIS Enterprise. And yeah, once you have ArcGIS Enterprise, you'll log into that, and if you're licensed, and there are a lot of names for this. So at time we call it portal for ArcGIS, and then Enterprise, ArcGIS Enterprise, and then we call it portal on-premise, portal, and ArcGIS Online. That's the public one. So once you have that, you can sign in, and you can basically publish and consume content from this portal. So now I'm gonna use my portal here. I played with that a bit before I start, just to get my feet wet a bit. But yeah, you can add a portal, you can log into that portal, but for the sake of this series, we will continue using the ArcGIS Online portal. About help, licensing, again, I'm licensed with Advanced up to November 29. Hopefully we can do a lot until then, and if not, we can continue working on that, definitely. Yeah, let's stick with that now, and let's create a new project, blank project. So when you create a new project, let's call this what we're trying to do here, right? What are we trying to do? Just play with it, right? Let's call it IGeometry. Why not? All right, ArcGIOmetry, and yeah, if this is in the way, I can remove it, but nothing is really hidden. I think we're good. If then we can always play with that, right? It's also blocking my background for some reason. By the way, I'm using Oracle Virtual Machine on top of my Mac, and my Mac starts spinning, obviously, as I called its name for some reason. But yeah, so this is the content menu, or pane. There's panes everywhere here. So you'll work with panes a lot, unlike ArcMap, where everything became a toolbar. And then remember ArcMap days, I can post a picture, but like this becomes really flooded with toolbars, and most of you now are laughing because you have that, because every ArcMap user had this ArcMap toolbar explosion, and you'll have that. So you won't have that problem here because there are no toolbars. There are tabs, and tabs hidden are contextual. That means if you click on something that is relevant, only toolbars or keep saying toolbars, only ribbons or tabs that are relevant to this thing that you are working with will be displayed. Make sense? I think it's making sense. I keep looking at this. I have to look here. All right, this is new to me, guys. All right, we're just working with this. So I apologize if video sounds a little weird, but we'll get better. I think we'll get better. All right, so yeah, what do we want to do first? The catalog, I gotta close this. That's the actual catalog where you can work with things. So we have the toolboxes. We'll get to this, where you can write Python scripts. You can write model builders and do a lot of things. Database is my favorite things. That we will do a lot of things here. By default, when you create a project, what you get is a free. We get a file geodatabase with every project. So your project here will have all this collection of things. So another thing I want to explain is a project in ArcGIS Pro is the extension is APRX, right? And unlike ArcMap, which is MXD, right? So this is APRX. So that's the project, and it has content, but by itself, it's just a project. But it has the file geodatabase as a side, and then you have a look when you create that. You know what? Let's just show it. How about that, guys? Let's show what happened when we created that project. You go to ArcGIS Pro. It's not here. ArcGIS projects by geometry. There you go. So we have three things: the toolbox, the project file, and the GDB file, which is the file geodatabase. All right, so three things by default. And it can be more as you create styles and you create something fancy, you create folders. And look at that, actually we can see them. IGeometry folder, okay, and we have the locators. I shouldn't have clicked that now. Hitting the locator. All right, we're done. Okay. So you'll notice that I click a lot, and yeah, everybody is just annoyed by this habit, and I try to fix it. I'll try to fix it. But yeah, so I'm going to use this nice geodatabase that I have here on the. Let's work with this a bit. Yeah, isn't it? It's really convenient that we have a geodatabase right here. All right, let's create a feature class. Guys, I'm not going to explain what a feature class is. By this, you already know. If you're watching this, you know what a feature class is. If you don't know, then I'll reference here. I'll reference our explanation of what feature classes. And feature class is basically, in a nutshell, it's a table that has a geometry column, a shape column, right? So everything we deal with is basically feature classes. And tables basically are tables, right? All right, so let's create a feature class here. And another thing in Pro, I think we need to move that. We might need to move that, but let's see. Can we just deal with this, right? Like this. If that didn't work, I'll hide my ugly face. All right, so another thing I want to mention, in Pro, almost everything is based on geoprocessing tools. So even create feature class, and the reason is everything is based on geoprocessing tools is that model builders, and you can write Python, you can do everything with feature with geoprocessing tools. So you can input something, feed it into that output, that create feature class, for example. You feed it some input, creates an output, that's a feature class, and feed it into a calculate, for example, GPLCAD, do something there, and then feed that output to something else, and you can create a chain of everything. So everything, we try to do everything into a geoprocessing, so it just becomes more streamlined. All right, let's create a feature class name. What do you want to call it? What do you have in mind? Let's call this polygon. Let's create country feature class, which is like this city, right? A city feature class. So city is a polygon. Is that a polygon? Yeah. The city is a polygon, so I'm going to create a polygon, right? Let's keep it as a polygon. M's, I don't want M's. Z's, well, we don't need to have Z's, because that Z's is basically, does it have elevation? Like, does it have elevation? Things that have elevation is basically pointers of line. So we can create a point to present elevation and provide that. Poles, for example, electrical poles, right? We'll keep the coordinate system, the default WGS, and what do I have? Geodatabase options here. Let's keep this optional. And yeah, let's go ahead. Create. And as you can just see, it creates a feature class, and then this becomes really a Python command that we can just copy. Sorry, let's hide that. So this becomes really a Python command, right? If I do analysis in Python, I can copy that and paste it here, and I can see the actual Python command that was executed to give you the result. That's the creation of the feature class, and you can do so much stuff with this. So ArcGIS management, and then you can do all that kind of fancy stuff, but we'll have to go to that in another episode, right? So we created a feature class, and how about that? Let's add this feature class to a map and add to a new map. Okay. All right, I'm gonna make this bigger. All right, so let's zoom in to somewhere nice here. Where do you want to go, guys? Where do you want to go, guys? Let's go to my city. Team. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Nice. Nice. All right. So I don't know where exactly the edges of Temecula. I'm sorry about the start spinning for some reason. So there's like sound. I apologize. I don't know what I can do about this, but looks like Pro is taking a stall on my Mac. But yeah. All right. So let's do this. For example, let's just round on Temecula City. Actually see some borders here on the base map itself, right? So that's the actual layer, right? We just added a new layer, and that layer has a symbology and has so much properties here. But since it's empty, let's create a feature. Let's create some feature in this, right? How about that? Simple, right? So to create a feature, you go to the Edit tab here. And guess what, right? You notice that, guys? When I clicked here, new things started to appear, the feature layer. So new tabs, you can do stuff with the feature layer, labeling, see the subtypes, fields, and you can see so much stuff, right? And we'll get to that because we need to start adding fields to that as well. right? So let's go ahead and create a new feature here, just one, right? All right, like simple, right? We just create a new feature here. Might not be the exact city of Temecula. Definitely it's bigger, but for the sake of this demo, bear with me. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. So yeah. So when you edit that, you have an option to save and discard. So and that is because since as I told you, I'm a geodatabase nerd. I'm gonna explain this, right? I had to explain this. So what happens here is that the geodatabase model, the file geodatabase, has its own what we call the long transaction model. The long transaction model. So that means you can create features and you can actually undo them. And then you can redo them, right? So you can play with that a bit. And then when you're satisfied, you can just save that edit, save these edits. So let's go ahead and save that, okay? So we just created a feature here. Let's go ahead and identify. Identify is now called explore. That's one ugly set of fields. It's just object ID, shape, length, and area. We gotta add some fields, guys, right? We're gonna add some fields. How can we do that? You notice that when we created a feature class, we didn't specify any fields, unlike our catalog where you had a wizard, and that wizard allows you to explore and do more and more things, right? So let's go ahead and add a new field here. And to add a field, you go to Data, Fields, and then let's expand that. And then just like that, right? It's very simple to add a field. You click here, and then you start adding. If you see that this is disabled, that means you have edits that you need to just go and fix them, save them or discard them, right? You can't change the schema of a database or a table if you have pending edits. Let's call this name. I want the city name, right? Name. What's the type of a name? Definitely text. Highlight. I want this to be highlighted, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And default. Let's have no name or unknown. Right? And then let's go ahead and save. And then what this does is actually it's calling a GP tool called add field. And if you don't believe me, obviously you don't, because yeah, you go here and find tools. You go to add field, and then there's a tool called add field. So you can select that, and then you can do exactly what we did, right? But this is just another view of add field. All right, coolish. Coolish. All right, guys, we just added a new field, right? What's next? Maybe we create another city. How about that? So look at this. Well, now when I tried to create a new feature, I was prompted with this name now because that's because the default is unknown, so that's just directly persisted there. And also, I can change that, and I can say Temecula, for example. I'll just Temecula IG, because this is not really Temecula, so just the Temecula of IGeometry. All right, and then once you do that, any feature that you create becomes, it will have that property by default. Let's go ahead and check. Look at that. That's the new feature we just created. And that's the other one, right? It has null in it because we didn't update it. So let's go ahead and select that, and then just update that to Temecula IG2. And then let's go ahead and save my changes. Any edit you make becomes a transaction, and then you can roll back and roll forward between these transactions. All right. So, all right. This symbology is ugly. So let's change it. So you click on that. Then once you click it, there's like stuff here that you can choose. Yeah. I'll just go ahead and just use this dashed one. Oh, that's actually not very good. Let's use this one. Yeah, why not? Maybe this boulder, then apply, since I was blocking it. So let's go ahead and dude, looks good. It's good to me. So we just changed that. So symbology is not really a database property, right? So you can change it. It's a map property. It's something in the map. Another thing I want to do last before I end this and start the second episode is I want to discuss labeling. Let's go ahead and do a label, and then we'll enable labeling, and then the default label, guess what? Of course, you don't want that ugly name, right? So you'll have the typical IG and typical IG2, and then let's have some different coolish names, nice different font, red, green. Yeah, you can choose. There's a lot of things here you can choose from. But yeah, cool stuff, isn't it, guys? You can change the map name. Let's call it IGeometry. Right? We're not going. I don't know where I'm going with this, but we're just winging it here, guys. But I promise in the next episode I'll do something worthwhile. All right. Okay. All right, guys. I think this is enough for the first episode. We'll do more fun stuff in the next one. Stay tuned and see you in the next one. Goodbye.